Hey guys, I'm sure you can tell from the title that today's video is going to be a little bit different than my other videos, but I wanted to take the time to film this video in case there are some of you who are going through a rough period in your life, or you're just not sure what the direction your life is going, or you're just feeling really low right now. I wanted you guys to know that there is a plan for your life, even if you don't see it right now, and I hope that my story can be a reminder of that and inspire you guys. I've told you guys, ever since I was little, I knew that I wanted to be a part of the fashion industry. Seriously, I was obsessed with it. I was obsessed with designers and runway shows and clothes and everything, and I really wanted to be a model. I mean, I prayed when I was younger that I would be tall. That was like my #1 prayer, was that I would be 6 feet tall. Got my wish. When I was in middle school, I had a growth spurt, and I used to be 5'2" or 5'3", and I literally grew overnight. I woke up and hit my head on my parents' basement staircase going down. And I was like, whoa, guess I'm tall now. Because I grew so fast, my body didn't really have the time to like properly adjust to the height. So I have a little bit of scoliosis. I didn't have this perfect figure. My hips are a little bit off. My one leg is longer than the other one. I was getting scouted by agencies. It wasn't like it was this unachievable thing, but there was just something a little bit off that would make my dream not possible. And I didn't understand at the time why God would have me in this position. Why would I be this close to my dream? Why was it, okay, you can be super tall, you can be super skinny, you can be getting scouted by these agencies, but I'm not going to give it to you. And I was so frustrated as a child because I was like, why would I get this close to everything I ever wanted, but then not get it? That's like a cruel joke. Why would that happen to me? And I was really upset over it. My freshman year of high school, everyone at my school had to perform a mock trial in their history class, and I was gone on the day that this whole like part selecting process came out. So of course when I got to school the next day, I had been given the most intensive part because no one wanted to volunteer to do it. So the sick girl who wasn't in class got that part. And I just threw it together, did it in front of the whole class, and afterwards my teacher came up to me and she was like, you know, you should try out for the team. You're really good at this. And mock trial was a really big deal in my high school. I was like, okay, sure, I guess I'll try out for it. And I ended up making the team. I ended up getting obsessed with this program. I dedicated all of my time to it. I worked so hard in this group. And by the end of my high school career, all of my teachers, all of my family, all of my friends thought I was going to go to law school. I really thought in my head at the time that I was going to go to law school, this was going to be it for me. I had found the secret talent of mine, and everyone thought that was where my life was headed. So keep in mind, guys, at this point I'm only 18 and I've already gone through one huge life direction change, and now I think I found my calling because this is what I must be made for. If the first one didn't work out, this has got to be what I'm meant to do. So in college, when I was studying to get my degree to go to law school, I wanted to go study abroad for one of my semesters, and my parents said that if I wanted to do it, I would have to pay the extra couple of $1,000s necessary to go on this program. So I worked 3 jobs at one point. I worked in retail, I worked as an assistant, and I also worked as a tutor. The summer before my semester was about to start, I was working in this job and I was sexually harassed by one of the employees, and I had to quit. I mean, I guess I didn't have to quit technically, but there was no way I was ever going to go back to that office, go back to that building. I couldn't put myself through that experience again, and I was seriously the most depressed I've ever been in my life. I went through such a low point in my life. After that experience, I didn't want to go to law school anymore. I didn't want to be in a corporate setting with men who were able to do that kind of stuff to me again. I really didn't want to put myself back in that position, and it was a really hard time for me because, you know, I had to quit my job, so I couldn't go on my study abroad program. I was so confused and so depressed and just so down and so hurt by everything. I let go of my dream in fashion because I was supposed to be Lawyer Carly, and then all of this came crashing down onto me, and I realized I didn't want that either. And it was just such a hard point for me to not know what I was going to be doing in my life. So during that downtime when I was really depressed and I had all this free time because I wasn't on the study abroad program, I taught myself how to use iMovie and how to edit videos on my laptop. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Do you see where this story's headed? I'm playing around with iMovie and really teaching myself how to use it and really enjoying it without knowing that eventually it would lead me to the career I'm in now. It was just something I did in my free time to get my mind off of all of the bad things that were kind of involved in my life at the time. I remember that I was watching the MTV VMAs, and I had this overwhelming voice in my head that was like, make a YouTube channel. And I was like, what? At the time, one of my really good friends had a YouTube channel but I never really watched videos. I wasn't aware of this whole community that's involved in YouTube. I had just been her like hair model for a couple of videos that she had posted, and she made me a channel, but it was just so like I could watch her videos. It wasn't like I was watching other people's videos and knew that I wanted to make my own channel and I wanted to be a part of it. I literally heard this voice just telling me, post a video. It's just really clear to me that it was God telling me to get up and film a video. So I filmed a video that night of Miley Cyrus hair and makeup at the VMAs, and flash forward to last year's VMAs. I'm pretty sure God wouldn't tell me to make a tutorial of what she did then. But I posted the video and the rest is pretty much history. Now my job, I'm working with the same companies and brands and doing the same things I wanted to do in the fashion industry before, but I'm doing it on my own terms. These companies are flying me across the country to style for them, to be in their photo shoots, to come attend their programs, but they're flying me, for my mind, my creativity, my personality. It's so crazy to me to think that all of the missteps in my life and all of the things that I thought I wanted and all of the paths that didn't work out led me to this career that didn't even exist when I was younger. If I was to go back and tell my 10-year-old self that Google would eventually be flying me around the country to talk about how to use social media as a viable entity in business, I would be like, what's Google? Instagram? What's that? Twitter? How cool is it to think that right now, when you're going through an extremely dark period, or you're confused, or you don't know what path your life is going to take, that any single one of those down points could be preparing you for something that doesn't even exist yet. It could be preparing you for a relationship with a person you've never met yet. It could be preparing you for a job that literally doesn't exist yet. It's so crazy for me to look back on my life and see everything now in retrospect and see how everything led me to where I am today. It's just really obvious to me that God is writing my story. I couldn't have written this story. I couldn't have dreamed any of this up because none of it was there yet. And that's so, so cool. I'm getting chills talking about it because it's a reminder to you guys that if you're going through something right now, if you're going through a dark period, if you're hurting right now, that low point might be the start to your next great adventure. Just because a door has closed or a chapter in your life has ended doesn't mean it's the end for you. It's just so cool to me to look back on my life and see the things that I thought I wanted, whether it be jobs, whether it be relationships. At the time, I really, really thought that I wanted them, and I was really hurt when I didn't get them. And I look back and I'm just like, I get it now. I get it. I didn't see the full picture. And I'm really happy and really, really thankful that God is smarter than me. I want to go through lower points or confusion or periods where I don't really understand why things aren't working out. I still get upset and I still get frustrated, but I don't quit. I'm not going to give up, and I'm not going to think that this is the end for me. That idea might not be what's ultimately going to work out, but there's always going to be another one, and there is a bigger purpose. Still, this might not be what I'm supposed to be doing for the rest of my life, and I don't know that, and I don't have to know it because I truly do believe that God is writing my story, and after everything in my life so far, I am leaving the plans up to Him, because if I had gotten what I wanted, my life would be nowhere near what it is today, and I couldn't have even imagined what it would have turned into. So I'm going to leave the plans up to Him, and I still, I get frustrated, I get upset with it, but ultimately, even though I might be upset, I am not defeated and I'm not crushed, and I know that there is a bigger purpose for everything. Basically, if you're going through something right now, or you're confused about your life, or you don't know what you want to do, you don't have to know what you want to do. You just have to take each day one at a time and work your hardest at what you're given at that point. There is a plan for your life, even if you don't see it right now, and I really hope that my story and all of the different changes I went through to get where I am today can reassure you of that and remind you that you don't have to know right now where you're going. You just have to have faith that you're going to get there. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye!